Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios and brought to you, as always, by... Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios and brought to you, as ever, by Export Ultra, the beer fair here. This is the Agenda podcast for Tuesday, the 25th of February.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Just had to say the day there, James McOnie, got potentially some of the best bit of feedback on Yours Please yesterday, just succinct. So could you please say the day of the week? Because as I'm listening to the podcast, I want to know if I'm listening to Monday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Wednesday or whatever. So it was good. It was polite. It was constructive. And so I've chucked it in there. It's Tuesday, the 25th of February.
Yeah, I guess, I've got a couple of podcasts I listen to over in America, the Dan Le Batard show, which he used to be on.
Le Batard.
Le Batard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that. I think you can say. You can just say his name. He's an American. He was on ESPN. He had that show Highly Questionable with his Cuban dad, who was a puppy in the middle, you know. Puppy. Hey, LeBron, you're a bum. And anyway, he's got a radio show, and so I sometimes listen to that. I've got no idea what is going on because they're not giving dates or times.
Oh, okay. No time check.
No time check, but because I figure it's their radio show, and they just chuck it online.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's a bit like the former Matt and Jerry podcast.
Yeah.
Now the How to Keep Breakfast podcast with Minaj Stewart and Jeremy Wells.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's massive. I think it is. It's a big show, but I find it's he was a writer at the Miami Herald, which was quite a good paper there for a long time, newspaper, and he's got one of the old columnists. So he's got a guy who's about in his 70s there, but he's also got young, cooler people. But every now and then they just talk about Miami stuff, and you just go, okay, I'm out. You do the plus 30 seconds on a podcast.
Yeah.
People will be doing that right now.
Yeah, I tell you who the sickos are, and that is Joe Jury. He listens to podcasts in 1.5 speed.
Oh,
so
fuck.
I get into his car, or I accidentally interrupt him at some stage, or it goes on the speaker or something.
And it's like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, he's listening to NHL podcasts at 1.5, and he goes, I'm like, hey, can you listen to that? It's so stressful. And he goes, I can get through so many more podcasts. I'm like, that's not right.
His specialist subject is wasted in this country, in this hemisphere. He needs to get himself up there and just own it in a bar. Just say, I'm Joe Jury. I want to talk hockey. Go.
Well, luckily for him, we're going with boys trip tomorrow to Vegas. We've got one night in LA, and we're going to an NHL game at Crypto Arena,
yes.
And then we go to Vegas, and there's 2 games. Golden Knights are playing 2 games in Vegas over there, so he is up to his nuts and guts of NHL. So he's going to be in. I don't think he's even going to go to the Warriors game.
Well, if he wants to do a big media schmooze fest, he could talk to the Auckland FC people about the Golden Knights.
To old Becker.
Talk to the old Nicky Becker.
Yeah, Nicky Becker. Hey, g'day,
Nicky Bex.
Hey, Bexy. G'day, Bexy.
You want a bit of coverage for that little tiny ice hockey team that's part of your sporting family?
Can you want to give us a couple of... Come on. Give us old Big Foley's box, maybe?
I tell you what, I think Joe would be just as happy in their feeder team, which is some called the Silverdale Silver Knights or something.
Silverdale Silver Knights.
And they're out.
The Silver Surfers.
Yeah, they're out in the burbs of Las Vegas.
Hey, see Netflix Full Swing is back. Season 3, which Full Swing, if you don't know, is the equivalent of Drive to Survive for the PGA. First couple of seasons were kind of okay. It was kind of interesting because...
seeing golfers brush their teeth in the morning.
Yeah, and catch their private jets everywhere. I think what made it interesting is they've been quite lucky because I think in the middle of the seasons Live happened, and then in the second season Live and PGA came together, so it was all the dramas. And then in the third series, which launches I think tonight or tomorrow, I think it is, but it starts off with Scottie Scheffler's arrest.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Do you think the producers and directors are like, oh, fuck yes, yeah? When Scottie Scheffler got arrested using the athlete's lane and then got accused of running over a cop, and then they got the footage, and he didn't even touch the cop. It was kind of weird. It was that whole thing was weird, and then he got let off.
Who's this?
Scottie Scheffler.
Scheffler, yeah, I know.
Do you remember it?
I don't remember the details of the case. I just remember I did interview him at the Paris Olympics, and I loved Scottie Scheffler. We were having lots of laughs about Talladega Nights, shake and bake, and all this kind of thing. I said, "Are you going to Applebee's to celebrate?" and all this kind of stuff. And
Nice.
and you know, we bonded a little bit, you know, because we've me and him were rebels in our own way.
Yeah, are you tighter with Scottie Scheffler or Tony Hawk from the Olympics?
Oh, definitely Scheffler.
Okay.
Tony Hawk was a flyby.
It certainly was. He had no choice.
He had no choice.
You locked eyes with him.
Wait, Tony!
It's like you.
It's for New Zealand. What are you going to do?
You got Tony Hawk in like the Darth Vader grip, and you brought him back.
Yeah. Your lack of faith was it not amusing or something? What does he say? It's disturbing. Your lack of faith. Tony Hawk in New Zealand.
It's for New Zealand.
You will pay. But the thing is, Tony, come to me. The thing is, he is. I think Tony Hawk, you'd have lots in common with. I feel like Scottie Scheffler is like he's a good old God-fearing Texas Christian. Or he was from New Jersey originally, but you know, I think for some reason I would have liked to have spent a bit of time chatting to Tony Hawk. I think he would have seen some things and done some things.
He seemed like he'd be a great New Zealander too. If he came here, he'd just go down to the Raglan skate park and do some sweet moves, kick flips, ollies.
Totally.
You know, those kind of mean moves. So here is the trailer for the new Full Swing series, season 3, coming out to Moz.
I'm warming up, and all I see is my friend handcuffed, walking to a police car.
Thank you. First of all, I was freaking out because I somehow went from driving into the golf course to a jail cell, and I still don't really know how that happened exactly.
Go ahead, see.
I don't think it ever really felt real.
I'll be honest, I didn't think this was ever a position I'd be in.
Usually people never do.
I understand how it happens. I completely understand. I have driven past security. I have flashed my badge. It's chaos, especially when it's dark.
He attempted to proceed. The police officer began to yell obscenities at him. The police officer then latched himself to the vehicle. At that point, the police officer took out his flashlight and started to hit the vehicle, demanding that Scheffler get out of the car.
At some point, cooler heads prevail, but I think I was just shocked at how long it carried on.
Nothing to drink this morning at all?
Mouthwash.
Just mouthwash, okay.
Try not to drink too much before you go play golf at 8 a.m.
The officers involved, we don't believe, had any idea who this was.
They did not.
So I assume you're pretty good if you're playing the PGA.
I'm all right.
I'm all right.
Is Tiger as good as they say he is, or is that?
Good.
Don't make small talk with me, arsehole. You've just spoiled my day. They're trying to make small talk. But cops in America, it terrifies me that they've all got guns as well. And that guy there is banging the top of his car with his torch.
Yeah, the torch comes out. This seems like... So are they saying he flashed his badge and drove through without permission?
Well, yeah, because there's an
it-
athlete lane they have.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
He flashed his badge and drove through without permission.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So they're saying, stop, they wanted more than just a flash of the badge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also at the same time, there was an accident there. There was a fatal car accident there at the same time. So Scottie Scheffler's like, look, it shouldn't be about me. This should be, it was a worker that was working at the PGA on their way there that got killed. So he's like, this shouldn't be about me. It's personal. So anyway,
it seems a bit trumped up, really. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
He went on to.
See.
I think he went on to do pretty well that day. He just made his tee off time, got out of jail, made the course, teed off. Anyway, okay.
Anyway, good guy. I enjoyed Scottie Scheffler over in Paris.
Yeah, he won gold, didn't he? Did he win gold?
He did.
Yeah,
he did win gold. So he's in a good mood, and he did an interview with the BBC or NBC, BBC, Olympic Channel, and then he had one more TV interview.
Did you lock eyes and give him the Darth Vader?
Scottie, it is your destiny. Come to me, and we will rule the world. But the universe, sorry, there's no world. Yeah, so he did Sky, little old Sky New Zealand, and then the guys next to me were from Finland TV, or Swedish TV. They were bloody pissed off. Hey, screwy birdie.
Do they all talk like the Swedish chef?
Yeah, they do. Scottie Scheffler birdie. Goody hitty birdie doody.
Birdie.
Birdie eagle birdie. Yeah, that's the Swedish golf channel. Birdie eagle birdie birdie. Bogey birdie.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with some Champions Trophy. Black Caps on fire.
Eases it past the man behind point. He does love an ICC men's event, does Rachin Ravindra.
As opposed to the women's.
300s in the men's 50 over World Cup.
And there we go, a boundary to Michael Bracewell, and that seals the deal for New Zealand. They are officially into the semi-finals of the Champions Trophy. 2 from 2, and 2 very conclusive victories.
We in New Zealand, we should be celebrating this, but everyone's nervous. Everyone I talk to is like, oh, we're just so battered.
Who are we playing in the semis?
We don't know yet, but it's going to be. I'm picking it's going to be either Australia or England. But this is the thing. We should be celebrating the fact we've won like 3 on the trot, won the Tri-Nation, beat Pakistan 3 times in a row in Pakistan, like convincingly as well. We then deal to Bangladesh. I mean, Joe Jury for a start and Jeremy Wells both bet on Bangladesh because they were paying $4.50 or something. I was like, shame on you.
That's lame.
Yeah. So, but it's. I know. I can tell the feeling. The feeling is this is not how we do World Cups. The cricketers, we fart into the knockouts by run rate, weather conditions, and then we make the final. Going in with BDC seems it's just foreign to us.
So we've knocked Pakistan out of their tournament.
Yes.
Wow.
They knocked themselves out by losing to India, though.
Yes.
So
I saw the highlights.
Which is a shame, actually, because it'll take the fizz out of that tournament.
Yeah, and they had to play it in Dubai, or because India refused to play in Pakistan. So I look, G Lane. I've been banging on for weeks, haven't I, about protecting Rachin Ravindra. Make him play in the middle order. Don't expose him up the top. They sent Will Young and Conway in to open, and then Kane. And then Rachin is in the number 4 position, which I think is his best position. He's in the Ross Taylor spot. It means you've got steady the ship there to sort of protect you and look after you. And also it just means that you can, get a little look at the conditions, get your stroke play going, get the bowlers a little bit. You don't get them zinging in a Shaheen Afridi or a Bumrah. You know what I mean? You've got them after a few overs. I think it's perfect for New Zealand, and it worked. They've protected Rachin Ravindra. They have to.
And he's wearing one of the strangest sticking plasters I've ever seen.
I saw that.
Obviously, he took that ball to the middle of the forehead in the warm-up tri-series, and now he's got this kind of round white sticking plaster right in the middle of his forehead, which I think, he's got stitches obviously there, but just expose the stitches. Way tougher, I reckon. Just pull it off and just be wandering around with your stitches.
Well, balls to the forehead can be quite problematic. I mean, you got a lot going on, and for him, he was probably lucky that he got away with just a little graze and not something else. I mean, in the end, he had to stand down for, it feels like 3 weeks. Maybe it's only 2.
Do they have HIA in cricket? They must do.
I reckon probably he would have been tested for that, for concussion, right? So Rachin saves the day. Not surprised. Now he's scored the most one-dayers of any Kiwi in ICC competitions, one-day competitions.
Is he?
Yeah.
Already?
I think 4 is the record. He's got the record.
4 centuries in ICC tournaments.
I would have thought Kane might have been close to that as well, but I'd say Rachin, because he got 3 in the World Cup in India last time, and now makes 4. Yeah.
Ravishing Rick Ravindra.
That's why I'm so passionate about
the hairy Rav.
the guy.
The hairy Rav.
Protect the hairy Rav. I don't think we understand what we've got there.
Yeah.
Proper match winner. They don't come along every day, right? You don't buy a bed every day.
Yeah.
If
you don't buy a bed every day
for a good night's sleep. Don't throw your money away. You need to know you can sleep on it.
Oh, it's us or sleep on it?
Sleep on it.
Okay.
So it's the same.
Is it bedpost?
At a bedpost store. Same with Rachin Ravindra.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't sleep on him.
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on how good he is.
But there's an interesting. I was wondering what this was. I heard the audio of Bracewell being interviewed at the end because he got a fourfer, hit the winning runs, played great, and here's his interview, but something strange happens in the middle of it, like Chewbacca's interviewing him.
I think just keeping the stumps in play as long as you can. It looks like if you give a little bit of width, then guys can free their arms and score pretty freely. So just trying to bowl as straight as I can and bring in that little bit of variable bounce.
Good, listen to it again. What is that?
That's a camel. Is
it a camel? Listen.
Feels like.
In the
I think just keeping the stumps in play as long as you can. It looks like if you give a little bit of width, then guys can free their arms and score pretty freely. So just trying to bowl as straight as I can and bring in that little bit of variable bounce.
So is that like Chewbacca just doing noddies to him, asking the questions and nodding and going,
I don't know. They're in Pakistan. I'm guessing there are camels in Pakistan.
So you're saying the camel's interviewing him?
There's a camel basically involved. I mean, this is what happens when you get sponsors too close to everything. You know, like you go, oh, we've got camel cigarettes or whoever it is.
So the camel's leaning over during the interview.
So you're just keeping the car yard or whoever it is or the tyre manufacturer happy, but then the camel starts to interfere and you go, oh, damn it. But, hey, that billionaire's paying for most of this. So, yeah, maybe I think it's a billionaire's camel.
Are you saying it's integration? You're saying that's some commercial integration?
It is commercial integration in your language, and you know that very well, G Lane.
Wow. Okay. So
it's like having Lee Hart basically stumble in and
give you some snack of changies.
Yeah, halfway through your really important interview.
Right, from the rugby league desk from Vegas. Now, last year it was the first time they ever went to Vegas, and here at the agenda we were waiting with bated breath for something to happen in Vegas. Whitewash investigation to come in. We wanted something to happen, and it was just silence. It was tumbleweed. Nothing happened. But the Canberra Raiders have come to the party this year, and 2 players have been sanctioned after a hotel scuffle before their season opener against the Wars on Saturday. Hudson Young and Morgan Smithies were evicted briefly from the hotel on their first night over confusion over a room booking. Have you heard the story on what happened here?
Yeah, I heard they double booked or whatever. It sounds like it was something to do with, I want the better room. Is that right? I want the room with the view, because you can get the view of the strip, which is pretty impressive, and then on the other side you get the view of nothing. Although they've chucked that big freaking what's it, the sphere?
The sphere there.
The sphere's there now, but the rest is desert, right? And so someone probably went, I want to be on the other side. But the thing is, if your room's on the strip side, it's very noisy.
You can't sleep.
You can't sleep. So it's actually better to have your little go on the desert side. You get a proper night's sleep, and then you have your fun, and then you retreat. Like the amount of time, you do look out the window at Caesar's Palace for the first 4 hours that you're there, going wow, and then by night 2 you're like, oh, fuck's sake.
I can turn the lights off.
Can people get out of that pool and shit?
So here's what happened. So Morgan Smithies, his room wasn't ready apparently, or he wanted someone else's room. So he decided to wrestle Hudson Young for the room.
Oh,
this is rugby league. This is great. And so they were doing it in the lift. So they're like, right, I'll wrestle you for your room if I, whatever. And they bumped the emergency button in the lift they were in and alerted security, who then arrived to find 2 dudes, hopefully not nude. I don't think it was Roman Greco wrestling, but 2 dudes fighting in the lift. And so you could imagine American security. I mean, you heard the police with Scottie Scheffler. They immediately grabbed them and biffed them out of the hotel, and it became a big thing. Yeah. But that's so rugby league. Mate, I'll wrestle you for the room. To the death, okay? If I pin you down, I'll get your room key. Okay, mate.
The weird thing is, I know it sounds like a really stupid story, but that checks out as far as I'm concerned.
Totally. That does.
I'm perfectly happy with that explanation. And the thing about it is, they would look at the cops in America and just say, what are you doing over in Australia? They just call us dickheads and let us go.
Yeah, but the thing is,
don't be dickheads.
They were holding inflatable baseball bats.
Yeah.
So the security guard thought they were real baseball bats. I don't know how you can confuse blow-up baseball. Also, what are they doing with blow-up baseball bats? They were obviously on a tear.
It's a massive bender day one. I bet you Ricky Stewart, is he still the coach?
Yes.
He would have said something like, whatever you do tonight, I'm going to turn a blind eye, but just don't want to hear any more about it. And it's like, bing, ding, 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 Ricky, unlucky.
Well, this is Well, we've got exclusive audio of what Ricky had to say at breakfast the next morning to the team.
No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting. No fucking fighting!
That's Peaky Blinders, if you don't know. You
No,
know the Peaky
I'm
Blinders?
not familiar,
Oh,
but,
the Peaky Blinders, he goes around the room before they're going out and pointing every... No fucking fighting! But yeah, there you go. Apparently it wasn't Ricky. It was Peaky
It doesn't
Blinders.
sound like him, did it? I thought you were going to actually get an Australian.
No.
I thought it's going to be that, you know that famous one, the Aussie Rules,
Oh,
the
yes,
country league
yes.
guy? You fucking
I
arsehole.
make it so fucking easy for you blokes, that
Yeah,
one.
so that one, yeah. We can check that in if we find it. Yeah.
Right, Super Rugby.
Shit.
Super Rugby. James McOnie, give us your... It's only 2 rounds, but Super Rugby hot take.
My hot take is Simon Parker will go very close to the All Blacks.
Ooh, but the Chiefs blindside flanker, the man with the plain name.
Plain name, possibly Peter Parker, Spider-Man's brother. We don't know because he's so top secret. He's been bitten by an eel in the Waikato River and has become Mana Man.
Inanga Man.
Nice. And so he is now. He's had a glow up. He's really just sort of emerged. It's a metamorphosis. He's come out of his little chrysalis and he said, "Look at me. I'm a butterfly. I'm a really good player." So he probably might have struggled to get some time if Wallace Atiti was around. Yeah. But now they need someone in the loosies. He's 6'6". He's a big unit. And you know when they always talk about we want to lock loose forward, we really want to lock loose forward. I'm just thinking, is Simon Parker going to try and get, because he's a proper loose forward, but he's 6'6", so he could be a proper lock as well. Anyway, that's just my way too early prediction, because I just think he's been our best player in 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And I know the All Blacks are a little bit underdone, so he's probably coming off the long run-up. But I was trying to work out, he had injuries in the previous years, G Lane, so that's why we didn't see much of him.
And who's his rival there for that blindside All Black spot?
Well, his own teammate, Summer Penny-Finau.
Yeah.
And his other teammate, Wallace Atiti.
Yeah.
And then you sort of look around and go,
well... Papali'i pesting around the 6?
Ethan Blackadder.
Oh, yeah, he's gone to 7.
Yeah. And then
Which I find interesting.
And then Cullen Grace is a sort of 6'8" as well. I think it's going to be hard to get past Razor's boys from the Saders, you know?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there.
But anyway, it's more that I just wanted to talk about Simon Parker, because I think people need to... We've always thought, who's Simon Parker? And I even did a deep dive for you, G Lane, and I thought he went to St Peter's College in Cambridge, which he did, but only for year 13. So apparently he's from Northland. And he grew up in Mangawhai, and then also Ruawai, the Kumara capital. And went to Otamatea College.
Captain Kumara. Captain Kumara.
Captain Kumara. That is his name now, is Captain Kumara. And so that's who he is. He's Kumara Man. And he's Kumara Man.
I am Kumara Man.
And so, brother of Spider-Man, Kumara Man. And so he is... He went to Otamatea High School, which is in Mangatoroto. You know where you get... It's got that service station with the giant ice creams. Have you ever been there, G Lane, on the way to Dargaville?
No, I haven't.
Anyway, that's his his tangata whenua around there, sort of thing. So his whenua, but he is his tūranga waiwai is around there. So he is he played for Northland. He played for the Taniwha in the NPC last year, which I thought was kind of like he was a Mulu man.
Yeah.
And he said, no, actually I'm Kumara Man, so I'm going back up.
Oh, nice. He's gone back to his roots.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's a great deep dive on Simon Parker, because he just, I think we called him the accountant or the lawyer last year, because he just had a name like a lawyer, like he belonged to Parker, Young and Richmond or something, some sort of law firm. Not many law firms in Hamilton.
But we didn't even know that by day he might be that, but by night he's Kumara Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hot take, Tavatava Nawai will be close as well. Is he eligible to play for the All Blacks?
He is. Tavatava Nawai is eligible, and he's looking very good at 12, and probably a necessary move for him, because he's a little sort of pocket battleship.
He's like what Laumapi.
Yeah, he's a Laumapi build. Yeah.
And the amount of he single-handedly inspired that Highlanders victory over the Blues. The turnovers when they were short in the scrum, and he played number 8. and there was no pushing in the scrum. Then
Yeah.
he came off the back of the scrum 2 or 3 times. I was like, that's genius, no pushing. So his acceleration off the back, it was like Tava Nawa off the back of the scrum. That wasn't on my bingo card.
Human cannonball vibes. He's just got, he has got pace. He had so much pace when he first arrived in New Zealand. I feel like he's slowed down a bit, so midfield is a good spot. I mean, he has got acceleration, but, he hasn't got... Have you seen some of the wingers out there? Kyron Talmoifalau, who plays for Moana Pacifica, he scored a 60, 70-metre long-range try against the Reds, Queensland Reds, and that was unbelievable. He has sort of done rugby the opposite direction. He played for Tonga first, so back in 2022.
Yeah.
Then he played Super Rugby, then he finally played NPC. So it's kind of, it was all back to front. He was a talent, right? And then and now I think because he played for Tonga at the World Cup 2023, if he has a 3-year stand down, he's eligible for the All Blacks. And so Razor will be sniffing around.
Absolutely. What about old Ben Hurley at fullback for the Highlanders as well? Ben Blair-esque. I mentioned Ben Blair yesterday to Matt
he is
Heath,
a bit Ben Blair,
and he looked at me. Heath looked at me like, "Who the fuck's Ben Blair?" But I know you would.
I know exactly what you mean, and he was a bit Ben Blairish, wasn't he? I thought he was a bit Ryan Pappenhausen.
Oh, yeah.
He even had a little arm sort of like band, like a hand thing like Pappenhausen had, like a little strap around his forearm. He scored an incredible chip and chase. The bounce was very good for him, but hey, amazing chip and chase.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Bowden Barrett-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah, or even a Jeff Wilson-esque.
Yes, the little chip and chase. But that was a great game to call. Matt Ward and myself. Poor Matt Ward. He suffers from Blues PTSD after years and years of watching them underperform. They finally won last year, and now he's come back and watched them just do what the Blues do, and that is crap themselves. But I wouldn't want to be in Bern Cotter's sights this week if I was a Blues player.
Well, I mean, Matt Ward has sort of he's owned that space as New Zealand's most pathetic rugby fan, and I mean, and so it's his alone, really. So he's camped out there on the border with a fence post right up his jacksie, and
I only know
deserves it.
He's the only Blues fan I know. I don't like who will openly say they're a Blues fan and wear a Blues jersey.
What about the pants man, Joel Harrison?
Oh yeah.
It's hard to tell who he's supporting.
Yeah,
he's yelling out names that
he plays
left, right, and centre.
He plays league. He wears a Warriors jersey.
Keeps on going about Chris Wood going to Royal Oak Primary where he went. It's like, all right. I know way too much about all the people who went to Royal Oak Primary with pants man Joel Harrison. It's like, okay, that's a good story, Joel.
Okay, mate.
Can you move to Sydney, please?
Yeah, well, apparently he's got a bet with Brad Haddon over there because he's producing Brad Haddon's podcast that if Australia win the Champions Trophy, I think the pants man has to go in a full Australian one-day uniform and wear it the entire day.
Oh.
But, I mean, the killer is that if New Zealand win, Brad Haddon has to do the same.
Oh.
And I'm keen to send him over a full beige kit, make him wear the beige top with the beige pants and everything to Brad Haddon.
Quite nice,
Brad
wouldn't it?
Haddon would fucking hate it because he's obviously been open in his hatred of New Zealand.
Well, even if you go half a day beige, half a day, black.
Because the black's quite nice.
It is quite nice.
It needs to be more humiliating.
Yeah.
Maybe we send him a Lycra one piece, Mark Richardson one piece, and he has to wear that. We'll do that. We've got one in the cupboard. I'll send him a one piece, and then Joel can just throw it at Haddon and make him slip into it. This is it. Excellent. Well, returning to Sky Sport Open this Thursday night is the ACC does Game of Two Halves. That's a sports quiz. Laura McGoldrick is hosting it. And we've got the likes of McOnie Stewart and Keezy hosting. Lee Hart's on the first show. It is on at 8:30 p.m. free on Sky Open and 8 p.m. on Sky Sport, I believe. Get onto it. The brief to McOnie Stewart and Chris Key is to filth it up a little bit.
And the big attraction of this premiere is that it's Rigger versus Mulls.
Yes.
The old Crowd Goes Wild hosts. And so they'll be in at Sky right now, trying to act like they like each other.
Yeah.
And
there's a deep hatred there, isn't there?
There is something going on. And I mean, I reckon that...
and you throw Lee Hart in the mix.
So the thing is, if they were on Celebrity Treasure Island, I could see them getting on quite well on the same team until they had to go against each other,
Yeah.
and then it would be a fight to the death. You know, I could see that happening.
Well, because one team is potentially Mania Stewart, Lee Hart, and Mark Richardson.
They're fucked. Because even though Rigger is actually
He's very intelligent.
He's intelligent. These are just sports trivia. Mully's going to actually run rings around him. And Mania is actually very good, though.
Yes.
Lee will just answer the same question, the same answer. He'll go 1942. And they'll go, no. You know, because the answer, the question will be like, who was the NBA MVP last season? Lee Hart will go, 1942 was it Uncle Kenny?
You're right.
Okay,
You're right. So tune in.
He sabotages the team. Everyone else in the team is going, what the hell are you doing, Lee Hart? And he goes, I'm being Lee Hart. That's what he's doing.
So 8:30 Sky Open this Thursday. It's season 2. So for the next 10 weeks, game of 2 hours every Thursday night. Tune in. That'll be great. We'll be back in just a moment. We've got 5 yours pleases. That's quite a few.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Okay, we'll bang through them. James McOnie, first one, yours, please.
Hey, G Lane. Can you geo-lock the parts of the podcast that are about the A-League? Thanks, mate. Bye.
Yeah, there's a small incident where we made Matt Heath do 2 segments of the podcast last Thursday. One of his love and support of the Blues, and then one for his love and support of the Highlanders. And we lied to him and said that we'll make 2 podcasts and we'll geo-block them. So one will go to Auckland, one will go to Net. In reality, we can't geo-block. They both went out, and we used it against them yesterday on the podcast. That's someone obviously doesn't want to hear any A-League stuff. Well, I was a Phoenix fan because we discussed that, the pantsing yesterday, the stripping naked and the tarring and feathering of the Phoenix.
Yeah,
by Auckland FC, which is a bit of a shame because the rivalry, I think, if the Phoenix had managed to fart one, it would have been great. But now it's like a full big brother, little brother hiding.
Well, the sad thing for the Phoenix is they actually had the most exciting player on the park in the second half, Luke Brooks-Smith, the 16-year-old who scored a goal. 16 years old from up north. He's from Whangarei. He was playing for the Phoenix, and I predict that he will get signed by Auckland FC and sent to Bournemouth or wherever around the place, a bit like they did with Alex Paulson, and he'll end up playing for Auckland FC very soon and on a contract that is Premier League level easy. I mean, he's that good.
Yeah, I was talking to a footy nuffy who cornered me to talk football, and that's fine. I enjoy my football. Not a massive expert on it, but he was saying that they use the same kind of processes and coaching fitness levels and skills levels as Bournemouth use, because obviously it's the same. They just carbon copy and bring it over. Hence why the Auckland FC are so fit, and so right to the 95th minute of a game they can still score a goal because of their fitness levels and their skill levels. I was like, okay, that makes sense, because it's basically is Big Bull Foley's franchise. He just does, if it's working in Bournemouth, bring it over and apply it to Auckland FC, which maybe some other teams haven't quite done in the A-League?
Well, I don't know. I think the Aussie teams are known for being fit and physical and a little bit unco compared to the Premier League, if you know what I mean. Like it's not quite the same. But I think Auckland FC do more than that. They train, because they're playing in sometimes 35, 40 degree heat. They train in these big jackets and stuff, and so they do like that twice a week is big jacket training, like heat. Yeah, so it's like sweaty jackets.
Ooh.
And that's what they're doing.
So those jackets, they just
I don't know. They rinse, repeat, G Lane. That's what you do. So it's more than just. I mean, that does sound. I don't doubt that, but yeah, they're doing.
Sounds plausible.
Yeah, heat training.
Heat training. Okay, I'll try that. Next one, yours, please.
Just watching the start of the old Bangers, the Black Cats game, and what a sexy rendition of the New Zealand national anthem with the old electric guitar whamming in halfway through. Shit, I was waiting for fucking Slash to pop out of the fucking ground. Fucking lovely. Anyway, fuck South Canterbury.
I love that.
That's directed at Mania.
Yeah. I'll have to pull that up. That national anthem, but I'll look forward to the national anthem when we play India. But mind you, for the Indian game, we have to go to the UAE because India don't want to go to Pakistan.
That man sounds like someone who can actually focus on what's going on the TV. Like, I applaud him. He is, even though it's 2025, he's watching TV like it's 1995 and is just focused on the one screen only.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's true, actually, because most people are second screening, aren't they?
Yeah, you're barely paying attention to the national anthems. Yeah, total double screener, but he is.
Well, maybe that shocked him into attention because it would have been he's like, what the fuck? But how good would it be if Slash repelled from the roof?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, next one, yours, please.
Hey, fellas, me again. Couldn't get all my big thoughts into one message. How about you guys use your powers and make a new trophy, the Matt Heath Memorial. Highlanders versus the Blues. You can make it half Scarfies and half Yarpies, I don't know. You'll sort it out. Cheers. Love yous. Fuckers. Go to Blues!
Well, there already is one, isn't there? Gordon Hunter.
Yeah, they've got the Gordon Hunter.
Yeah, you can't really double up though, can you?
Yeah, it's tricky.
Can't present them with a Gordon Hunter then a Matt Heath because most people are like, who fucks Matt Heath?
Yeah.
In the rugby fraternity, I'd say that Gordon Hunter's probably more well respected than Matt Heath.
Cheese roll full of Jaffas, cheese roll and a latte. I mean, I don't know. These are all cliches. I think the Gordy Hunter's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it does need. I think there needs to be a little bit more hype around the games. I mean, I noticed that they were saying they're talking about how the Crusaders and the Chiefs have got beef now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good that they're talking up like that. I think they need that because the derby games there is a lot of feeling, and it's all between mates, right? Like, you don't really care. I mean, you do care about the players, but it's more about knowing that you're not going to get a text from your punishing mate who supports the other team.
Yes.
You know,
totally.
That's the key.
Yeah. Okay, a couple more. Yours, please.
Do the Australian cricket team look at the Black Caps like we, as the All Blacks, look at the Wallabies? Thoughts, please.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We know we've got their number in rugby, and we know that fundamentally they are slightly inferior. That's the belief, and that's why they haven't won the Bledisloe in 20-something odd years.
Yeah.
And it's hard to break that funk, and I think the cricketers is the same. It's so frustrating as a cricket fan to know that we have this mental block with Australia. And even though Dylan Cleaver described this Australian team as the worst he's ever seen,
right?
They still did a job on England. They've still got players out of nowhere who scores 170 balls off Joffrey Archer and Woods. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like they sort of respect our players. They know that they're pretty good.
Only a few of them, though.
Only a few. I was going to say, but what I would say is that for this golden generation that we've had, they kind of really, it was McCullum, Williamson and Taylor. I don't think with the bowlers, they knew they were good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they quaked in their boots about Southey and Bolt. I mean, obviously for us, they are legends, but I think for the Australian players and public and all that sort of stuff, they're like, oh, yeah, they're all right. You know, good player.
Good player. Oh, Trent Bolt. Hey, good ball. When they're swinging back in,
yes,
good player.
Good player, but the thing is, it's more, I think they knew that McCullum was a match winner on his day.
Yeah.
They knew that Williamson's world class, but hasn't got a great record against Australia, and they knew that Taylor was something special and probably could turn it on, but hey, we're just playing New Zealand, we'll probably crush you anyway.
Yeah.
That's how they feel about it.
I know. So what we need, but we don't want India to beat Australia in their semi because then we play the final in Dubai. That sucks. So be great if
we need to stay in Pakistan, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do. But we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, last, yours, please.
We need to keep Grim Lane away from Karachi. Just keep him in the US or just throw away his passport when he gets back. Or his wife will probably guilt trip him into making him stay in the country because, Mrs. can handle a trip to Vegas, but they definitely can't handle a trip to Karachi. Anyway, I was going to say fuck South Canterbury here, but that's probably overused at this point, so maybe...
There you go.
He's gone.
Left us hanging.
He's got a good microphone, that guy. Is he from in the building?
I don't know. He's got a great microphone. He's also the guy that he often records from outside and you can hear the crickets. Right. And it's quite soothing. I find myself relaxing a lot more when I hear the crickets in the background, because I know he's been sent outside while the kids are asleep or the missus is doing something, watching Married at First Sight, and he's been sent outside.
Should we hire him to read out the ACC book as an audio book? You know?
We should do. Yeah,
lovely
listen,
voice.
I'd hope so. I'm going to have to say, I think my wife would prefer me to go to Karachi than Vegas. Just throwing it out there.
She'd like you to roll the dice.
I think she'd rather go to Karachi than Vegas.
For you, yeah, I know. I mean, absolutely. I mean, when I look at the headlines of those rugby league guys, I'm like, they could have been so much worse. That's tame. Wrestling in an elevator, loving an elevator, living it up when you're going down. But yeah, you have to change the lyrics to something about
wrestling it up in an elevator.
Wrestling it up while you're going down is quite good.
Yeah.
What about there's something about the you've got inflatable baseball bats? There'll be a lyric there somewhere. But yeah, I'm waiting to see the headline featuring G Lane. That's all. I mean,
I don't know. If,
are you going to get on a motorbike like Caleb Clark and just
was
dash in?
Was it a motorbike he ran away from?
I think he was on a motorbike. I mean,
yeah, right.
I know it's a serious story, and I love Caleb Clark, and it's before the courts. But I mean, I guess the question is will he be signing with Yamaha? Maybe
Suzuki.
Yeah,
Kawasaki.
There are a few clubs up in Japan that'll be like, okay, have we got a deal for you?
Have we got one for you? No, I'm going to go Dennis Rodman after watching Last Dance. I'm going to get off the plane. I'm going to hire a Harley, no helmet, crush a beer on the tarmac, and just Harley my way into Vegas, and then hang out with Carmen Electra.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, honestly, G Lane, we need to set you a task like the 5 tasks of G Lane in Las Vegas.
Okay, well,
I think we'll do that. Can we do that, Adam? We'll find 5 things that he has to do.
I've got the potty tomorrow with Mania Stewart. So why don't you get on the talkback function and lay out the challenges? Get on the iHeart app, press the little microphone button, 30 seconds, go straight to our desk, give us 5 challenges for Vegas. I mean, vaguely legal. I'm not going to go too illegal. We can vet the massively inappropriate ones. But I'll be happy to step up to that, James McOnie.
Good stuff.
Anyway, okay. Well, that's the agenda for today. We're done. James McOnie, thanks for coming in. Tomorrow we've got Mania Stewart in here, and then we come live from Vegas for the next few days. Whether I'm in any sort of state to record a podcast, we'll wait and see.
Yep.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.